Silent Hill Ascension pre-show. I am Noah, and I have the beautiful, lovely Layla here with me. Would you?
I would love nothing more, Noah asked. You're here with us at 5:40 p.m. Pacific for a smooth ride through the skies, and then at 6 o'clock Pacific, we'll take you right to the show. And then as soon as the Endure stream is over, you'll join us right back here for the post show. And that'll be very exciting for all of us. So, Noah, do you want to talk to us about what Silent Hill Ascension is?
I love talking about what Silent Hill Ascension is. Wait.
Solid start. Let's
Great.
go.
No, Silent Hill Ascension is a socially interactive series where all of you collectively decide, shape, and experience the evolving story. So collaborate and compete with others to make the choice you want. When each decision ends, that choice locks in as canon. So that's the version of the story that everyone sees, and that's canon. There's no restart button. That's what it is. So let's throw to our setup scene here where
Carl, I'm here.
Astrid?
Carl!
Ingrid? Ingrid? Is that you?
There you are. I was calling for you.
I thought for a moment it was...
Shh. It will be okay.
Mette, if Astrid saw us...
Astrid is still out searching. It's just us.
She shouldn't be out there alone. She needs someone to watch her.
She'll be fine. Let Britt worry about her.
Mette.
Carl! Are you okay?
I still feel a little hungover from last night. I need some water.
I'll be here.
welcome back. We hope you enjoyed this scandalo moment from Mette and Carl. We're gonna talk about it more in a sec, but Layla, let's take a moment to talk about the story so far. Could you take us through the cold, chilling Pennsylvania?
I would love to. So to start us, Rachel and Eric return to the Foundation only to learn that Xavier has disappeared. And then Rachel and Eric argue about how to look for Faith, and Eric leaves Rachel to continue searching. Krista offers to help Eric search for Faith, where I think, Noah, she said your new favorite line.
Yeah, oh my God, that was amazing. That was an iconic Krista moment. She was like, bitch, Eric, not a monster. That was so good.
And you know what? Fair enough.
With this.
I aspire to be both. But the bar for monsters, as far as being in the unfortunate reality of Silent Hill, is pretty high, right? If Krista wanted to be a monster, it'd be kind of aspirational. So fair enough, girl.
I didn't even think about it, but even the bitches in Silent Hill Ascension are a bit, monstrous at times. If you think about the Snarler, So, it can all be pretty bad, to be honest. But she's a bitch, she's not a monster, and she doesn't mean a snarler bitch. She's just a bitch.
That's right.
But that was also like, I love me her, like, sneaky extramarital vibes. We did also have like Rachel and Eric arguing about how to look for Faith. And Xavier missing, like, it's all very distressing.
It's all a lot, right? So yeah, as we said last time you and I together, as I said, finally Eric and Rachel are talking about the fact that their child is missing. Feel like maybe those priorities weren't aligned. I don't know if it was like a telecommunications issue with Eric's phone, because Rachel did say she was calling him, or what, but finally they're on the same page. And they're actually, well, one of them is actually looking for their child. The other one is like mostly looking for her child, but still seemingly maybe looking for her in the wrong places. I know the rule if you're lost is to stay close to the place you were lost so that you can be found, but I don't think that's what we're dealing with per se, so I don't know how good of a strat that is in this case.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like, honestly, it's kind of like we're gonna have here with our audience too. I think it's gonna split to like Team Eric, Team Rachel, and like who's the better parent, and we all get to witness the beginning of a divorce together. Possibly, I don't know. Maybe they'll stick it. Maybe they'll stick it out. Not me, let me tell you. Anyway, let's look at our story so far in the even colder, even chillier Norway.
Yep, absolutely, Noah. So in Norway, Haugen delivers bad news about the search for Orson as she's shifting from a rescue operation to recovery. Meanwhile, speaking of weird priorities, Carl and Mette have a tension-laden moment alone, leaving Carl questioning where they stand. Astrid confronts Britt about the phone call she got from her demanding to know where Orson is. So one person, at least in this situation, still has her eye on the money being a boy. Where is the boy?
Dude, first of all, we're gonna get to Carl and Mette in a second. But Astrid, I'm kind of getting fed up how everybody's just beating her up constantly. She's just trying to survive here. And by the way, when you were talking before about phone issues, maybe that fog is not helping with connectivity. I do not know. Historically, in Silent Hill, it's happened before that other world suction can affect your connectivity. But also,
what's the 5G like?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily work in the other world, but Astrid is really eating a whole lot of doo-doo here from everybody, and starting to really dislike Brit, to be honest. She just arrived, but she's already highly demanding, and I don't know.
I seem to like all the scrungly characters like a little bit more than you do, you know. Britt came. Britt has priorities. She said, hey, I did not want to see my mom buried, but I'm here for my nephew. And she's like trying her best to catch up while keeping her boundaries for recovery. I admire it. I respect it. You know, she's doing her best. Still don't understand what that phone call was about. Hopefully we'll find out, because she appears to have at least no recollection of it. So who's to say? But Noah, you know, you and I, we're here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to gossip. So,
because not only that Carl is considering seriously to shack up with his dead wife's sister, he also appears to be haunted. I don't know if it's only in his own head or actually, but you know, like in that scene we saw, he's hammered, and he's like basically thinking that Ingrid is calling him, where it's actually Mette. And you know, the guilt here is overwhelming, and listen, it's trauma.
It's, you know, I too am haunted when I'm hammered, so I definitely relate to that. But one thing we can talk about, Noah, is that Carl, not a very hopeful guy right now, am I right?
Right, and that brings me to love to talk about fate and hope. So, Layla, can you please tell us more about the fate and hope system?
Absolutely. So decisions, endurance scenes, and puzzles all contribute to whether characters will face redemption, suffering, or damnation in Silent Hill Ascension's finale. Their fate is decided across the length of the entire season, and a character's hope needs to be high enough for them to survive a crucial story moment if they come up against something like Toby, where maybe their life was at risk. And actually, you know, we love to check stats live, Noah. I don't recall that Carl has particularly high hope.
No, I don't know if Carl has high hopes. I'm not sure he has high hopes. Sorry, I promise next show I'm gonna stop singing. Starting the post show. Okay, it's positive right now.
Okay, wow, that's a vast improvement. I think Carl's positive. I know Eric is also positive, which is great.
Right,
but,
we do need that. We saw what happens when the hope is not high enough.
Yes, it's what happens to Toby, which was...
Yeah, it's what happens to Toby. That did not go well. The withering is still going, and we lost a man.
The withering is certainly still happening, which is, you know, what the characters are currently struggling with because we got a man down and it didn't seem to stop anything. But yeah, and I think, again, like I said, I think Eric's hope is also in the positive, which is great. And you can, if you like a character and you want to give them the best shot you possibly can at surviving whatever is going to happen to them over the next several weeks, there are endure scenes that happen every day after the main show, and there's also the puzzles and mindfulness activities in the arcane library that you can play that will steadily raise a character's hope. And I think the more we've been hammering on about this, actually I've seen some improvements in hope scores, which is great. I'm excited to see maybe someone survive.
Right, you may not like it, but we're taking care of you and we're helping you, mister.
And speaking of the fates of characters, we're going to check on the current decision, which is what will Carl tell Mete he wants them to be? It's been neck and neck all day between lovers and nothing, and it is currently even. I think we're like less than 1% difference.
Right, and we're leaning towards domination.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing is winning.
We're seeing, nothing is winning. But
Nothing.
Layla, can you walk us through the decision again? Could you read it for us, just in case anybody missed it?
Sure, it'll be what will Carl tell Mete he wants them to be? Lovers, friends, or nothing. This is not a fate rail decision, so there is no redemption, suffering, or damnation attached to this one in particular. But it does decide, you know, the level of a scandalo we're going to be facing in the post show at the very least. So.
Right. So what we're going to see very, very soon, which I cannot wait to see, we're going to see what God's gonna do with his foxy sister-in-law at his farm. Well, you know, we all know that Mete is DTF. Down to futz around.
I was gonna say down to farm.
Yeah, down to farm.
Hey! It was a gimme. It was low-hanging fruit. It was right there.
No, thank you, Layla. Thank you so much. But so we have to figure out if it's gonna is it gonna turn her down, and also how would that impact the dynamic? And also, by the way, how sneaky she is. She's like, don't worry about Astrid. Astrid's fine.
Yeah, listen, she does not care about her niece's opinions or thoughts or feelings, and on one hand, I support women's wrongs, so, like, get it, girl boss, but on the other hand, I do feel quite bad for Astrid, so I'm a little torn.
It's not easy to witness Astrid being basically dragged by every single member of her family, and then like her aunt is like, never mind her. Let's like do the horizontal tango.
Yeah, they're certainly trying to do the graveyard smash, and that's troubling to me.
Oh yeah, not the monster mash. But anyways, we do have also an interview to show you that I had the big pleasure to do with Agustin Cordes after the show. So stick around for that after the show. Witness the wonderful Agustin tell us more about the cinematics and what he's been working on. But it is almost time for the show. So, Layla, could you please walk us through the endurance scene that production will put up for us?
Absolutely. So one of our main story characters will enter an eerie room and advance slowly, only to find one of you, an audience member, dead. A ton of crawlers, insects with a human face, will appear. The only escape is to run up to a door towards freedom. You'll have to help the characters shake off the crawlers, crawl through barbed wire, and get out of there. Inputs will appear on screen for you to react and help the character. Not a big fan of these bugs, no, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen them many a time throughout my journey in production. I have seen them from all of their various stages of becoming sculpted and textured and then acquiring noises. Still not a fan.
No, not a fan, even though you know that they are not real.
They're
are
too
real
to me.
Yeah, so if the character fails enough endurance scenes, they might not survive crucial moments in the story, future encounters, and that will lead to their permanent death in the story. So you really, if you want a character to survive, give it a good shot. That's all we can do. All we can do is the best we can do. And these endurance scenes are one of the best places to earn large amount of influence points. So, but remember, success and failure is not a personal judgment. It's a part of a collective story. So we're gonna love you unconditionally, unless you kill off my girl Trista. Just kidding.
Well, Noah, we are 2 minutes away from the show, so I'm going to come right back to you if you wouldn't mind recapping and taking us out.
I would love to. We have really high tension here. We have Mette and Carl. We don't know, possibly going to do some kind of dance or not. We have children missing, Orson, Faye. We have Krista trying to search with Eric. We have a lot of stuff going on. So also we have our current decision. Make sure you put an impact on that. I really want to know what's going to happen with Carl, with Carl and Mette. So please do that. And we are going to see the show in just a minute. So just remember, after the post show, we will be both back here. And there will be the Agustin Cordes wonderful interview. So please stick around for the show, enjoy, and we will see you in just a little bit.